fresh out the box.
Fresh California plums.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Fresh Film Fridays, the podcast where two dudes pick the newest streaming movies or in theaters and discuss them. Today we are talking about 2021's Nightmare Alley, which was directed by Guillermo Del Torro. I'm your co-host Alec.
I'm Justin.
I got that name right. Guillermo Del Torro. Rolls off the tongue so nice.
Yeah, it's a tough name.
Well, dude, I'm so bad at pronouncing names. Like, we just did Wax House, and it was like, I butchered that name. But Guillermo del Toro, what a name. I love that name.
Yeah, I mean, he's a super famous director, so.
Oh my God. I mean, have you seen any of his other movies?
Oh, yeah. Pan's Labyrinth
Yeah.
is actually one of my favorite movies, and then he's done Hellboy. He's a producer for Antlers as well, which is next Friday's movie, so that's cool.
Yeah, he's a big producer. He's done a lot of that. He was supposed to direct the Hobbit prequel trilogy, and then Peter Jackson's like, nah. I kind of wish he did, dude. I feel like it could have been a lot better.
A lot better than like 7 billion Oscars.
The Hobbit? The Hobbit didn't win 7 billion.
Oh, The Hobbit.
Yeah, not Lord of the Rings. No. So
Did Peter Jackson do The Hobbit too?
yeah.
Dude, I did not like the Hobbit movies.
Nobody did. But yeah, Guillermo del Toro was apparently supposed to do that. So I was like, that would have been interesting because he's such like a visual guy and he always brings cool characters into everything he does. This movie, though, Nightmare Alley, there was nothing. There was no like Shape of Water creature. There's no Hellboy creatures. There's nothing. It's just a straight up like noir movie.
Yeah, I actually didn't know anything about this movie. Didn't even know it was in movie theaters. I thought this was like a straight to HBO special type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was in theaters long.
It still is. It's in theaters right now.
Oh,
At least in LA. I don't know.
yeah, it's not playing at the one I usually go to. And I randomly saw it on HBO and I was like, wow, this has like literally every person is super famous in it.
Oh my God. Such an amazing cast. I mean, obviously Bradley Cooper is a huge star, but dude, Toni Collette is such a good actress and she is killing it right now. She deserves an Oscar. She's like one of the only people that I'm like, if she doesn't get an Oscar before she retires, like that's really not cool. She's such a good actress. She's Australian too, dude. You never would know. Her accents are so on point.
Yeah, I'm looking at her IMDb. I saw her in Knives Out.
Dude, The Sixth Sense, Hereditary.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I'm thinking of Ending Things. She was in that recently. She's in Little Miss Sunshine. Dude, I love Toni Collette. I think she's such an amazing actress. But anyways.
Yeah.
So yeah, right. Big cast.
Yeah, big cast. And also like, I don't want to say random people, but like Richard Jenkins and Ron Perlman. Like I never thought I would see Richard Jenkins next to like Kate Blanchett or like Ron Perlman next to Bradley Cooper. It was just an interesting mix. Then you got William Dafoe in here and that guy, Holt McCallany. He was the bodyguard for the super rich guy.
Oh my God, dude. He's in Mindhunter.
Oh yeah. Mindhunter, great show. Dude, he plays like a bodyguard or henchman in every role that he does. It's so funny.
He's like the gruff old cop in Mindhunter, and he's so good in that role, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. But dude, so this got a 7.2 and it's a 2.5 hour movie, which that's a long movie.
It was a little long. I mean, it's not what I was expecting at all. Same as you, went into this, no idea what this movie was about. I was like, damn, Guillermo del Toro, huge cast. I've never even heard of this.
Well, did you know it's a remake?
I do now. Yeah, I didn't know that at first. It's a book, and then it was a film. So it was a book that came out. They adapted it into a film pretty immediately in the 40s, and then no one's really touched it since.
Yeah, somebody commented on Twitter that said it's a remake, and I was like, what? The remake, I think, actually did slightly better in reviews, but I didn't get too many reviews on this. I didn't really post too much about it, but the reviews I did get, a lot of people said it was slow or they weren't sure about it. So what's your opinion?
It reminded me of Shutter Island and The Prestige. I can finally say The Prestige because this actually did remind me of that.
Why The Prestige? Oh, because magic. Okay.
Well, yeah, that's kind of like a show, a performance thing, and like tricking the audience. This is kind of similar, but I guess the difference is like Scarlett Johansson, isn't she kind of like bouncing back and forth between Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman? But in this one, Bradley Cooper's kind of bouncing back and forth between Kate Blanchett and Mara Rooney. So also, I guess like the time period, I think this takes place in the 40s. Like I think Prestige takes place in, earlier than that, but you didn't get that feeling at all?
Nah, not actually. Shutter Island, though, I get.
Yeah.
I actually really like this movie. And I'll agree that it was a little slow, but it was like perfectly paced and like it may have been slow, but it was the whole length of it was entertaining. So I wasn't ever like, oh my God, is this almost over?
Right.
And then it like casually picked up in the middle. And I was like, okay, I'm a little more entertained. And then it really picked up in the end where I was like waiting for it to end because I'm like, dude, something big is about to happen. And like
Mm.
it ended, and I was just like, holy crap.
Yeah, the ending's really good. Why don't we kind of start walk through the movie a little bit for people that haven't seen this film? Basically, what it's about is Bradley Cooper is just a drifter. He's on a train. He sees a little person walking towards a carnival, so he just follows him and kind of gets involved in this carnival freak show kind of lifestyle and takes over his whole life. He finds one of the actresses in the carnival, Mara Rooney. He's like, "You're the real talent here. Let's get out of here." So he takes what he learns and takes it to the big city. And basically, that's where the movie really takes off, where he starts tricking people, starts acting like a clairvoyant, starts saying he can read people's minds, all this stuff. And then we get Kate Blanchett comes in and starts kind of fucking with him. And then the movie kind of goes from there. It's like, is he going to get exposed? What's he going to do? So that's kind of the movie in a nutshell.
Yeah. I'm assuming he took that little black book that I think his name was Pete in the movie,
Hmm.
who he when he died, like right before, he was like, there's like serious tricks in here where you become obsessed and you think you actually have the power. So I'm assuming he took it. I don't think they showed that. And he basically went from nothing, like you said, to working at this carnival, kind of doing like jack of all trades, like handyman, to moving stuff and getting shows ready.
Hmm.
And he slowly learned things, and then he kind of like really shifts into this like con man almost, because he's performing in the city, which I don't know if it was New York or not.
It was filmed in Buffalo, the movie, and Toronto, so or that area of Canada. So,
Oh,
uh,
and then he's playing at like this, like a hall where people go to, and he's making good money at the time, but like it's never enough for him. And he says this one line in the movie that really stood out to me, to Kate Blanchett, where he said, you almost want to become caught. And you kind of catch that from him because Bradley Cooper is constantly taking on riskier situations.
well, it's interesting because it kinda starts off where he's sober, and he's very proud of that, like, he just kind of tells Willem Dafoe, even he kinda makes that little comment. He's like, "Oh, you say it with such pride," or whatever he said, and then as the movie progresses, he starts drinking, and you see him slowly start to unravel. You're right, he does take riskier moves, he starts ruining relationships, and then by the end, he is a full-blown alcoholic, like, drug addict, like, completely falling apart. And the one thing that I love, this whole movie just had a nice little bow at the end, is Willem Dafoe in the beginning, he's the carnival leader and he's kind of imposing all of this wisdom onto Bradley Cooper about like getting them addicted to the heroin and the alcohol. You caught that?
Yeah.
So then at the end, he knows what he's doing, you know?
Yeah, dude.
So,
Oh,
yes. So, dude, like, he walks in, he knows what he's doing. The guy says it's temporary. It's just a temporary job, of course. And he, like, knows the door that he's walking into and he, like, doesn't care.
yeah, the ending was absolutely insane. I don't know. They don't tell you how much time took place between when he got on the train and left at the end to when
Yeah.
he actually walked into that trailer.
I'd say a year at least.
I mean, it's his shoe has a hole in it, so it's been some time. And then his hair's all grown out, his fingernails look disgusting. It's been months probably. And it kind of got to the point where he hit rock bottom. He went there looking for work, and that guy who said he met William Defoe's carnival
Mhm.
clearly said, he said verbatim the thing William Defoe said, which was like, you get them to take a drink of it, they're mulling it over, and then he said the same line, it's only temporary till we find someone else. And I even read an article about it, and like it basically said the whole movie Bradley Cooper was the geek, which was like the crazy dude in the pen where they're like, come see this abomination. So that's what he ended at.
Ugh, yeah, so that's, like, the lowest thing in the freak show, so he went from running it to being the bottom.
Yeah, because you're trapped once you get there, like you never get out and you die.
Yeah, I mean, because that other guy, the original geek that we meet, he just got, like, an infection and died because, like,
Yeah.
he wasn't being taken care of at all. That's such a gross concept, like, people
Yeah.
would pay money to see a guy rip a chicken's head off just because he's so starving, like, ugh.
Well, that's the thing. That would only work back then
Yeah.
in like the 40s. I mean, they essentially kidnapped someone, put him in a crate until they became starving. Don't let them talk to anyone so they just become crazy. And then you throw a live chicken at them and like course they're gonna eat it. They're dying.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "Oh my god, that's so crazy!" And no one was like, "Wait a minute, is that guy like? Do you need help?"
Yeah, exactly. Now people are like, "Make Blackfish a documentary, like, the whales are being treated badly." It's like, we're watching this, like, guy, like, literally starving to death, and people are like, "Money." Yeah, it's weird.
But dude, let me get my notepad out because this movie just like blew my mind, dude. Bradley Cooper did so good. And an interesting thing about Bradley is he's branched out since like he started acting, and he really broke that like stereotypical mold that his type of actors have. Like he was kind of like the jerk or like in comedy movies about like The Hangover and
Wedding Crashers, who's the asshole?
oh yeah. And like dude, a lot of those actors only do those types of movies because they're like you can't be in serious movies, or like maybe they can't really act, and like he's showing that he can.
Yeah, I think in the past 10 years, he's done, like, what Matthew McConaughey's done.
Oh yeah.
He's like, "I can do rom-coms," but dude, he also writes, directs, he did A Star Is Born, like, he's the real deal. I just saw him in Licorice Pizza too, he was pretty goddamn good in that. Yeah, he's a fantastic actor.
And it's interesting because at first I thought Kate Blanchett, I mean, you find out she was screwing with him the whole time, but like the stories she was telling him about her patients, they could have been a complete lie. So like when she was telling him about the judge's son, I was kind of thinking like, what would happen if Bradley Cooper was saying these things and he's like, I never had a son. Like what would happen?
I think yeah, dude, it was too late, like, I think it's almost like there's always a bigger con person because, yeah, she fucked him from the start, like, because there's
Yeah.
that 2-year gap where we don't know what happens, and we don't know how long Kate Blanchett's been watching. The only indication we get is Mara Rooney saying she's been there a few times, and he's like, "Really?" sort of thing, so it's like she's been watching their show to try to pick him apart, so, man, I bet she's had this planned out for, like, a long time to screw him over.
It's kind of like ironic. It's kind of like an oxymoron because he wore the handkerchief on his head with a third eye, kind of being like he can see things others can't. And she is right in front of him, conning him like literally every step of the way, from going there, seeing how he does it, to giving him information about her patients, to even her saying to him so confidently, I don't want the money in my safe. And he's like, no, 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 you take it. And the whole time she was taking it and switching the hundreds with the ones. And dude, she got who knows how many tens of thousands of dollars because he just couldn't stop.
It was the alcohol, dude. That was it. I mean, he started drinking, he started losing his everything. I mean, he just stopped paying attention to things. He got wrapped up in Kate Blanchett's character. And yeah, dude, his entire life started falling apart once he started drinking. That's really it. I mean, I think at least. But I don't like Bradley Cooper's character. Like, you don't like him throughout the entire movie. I mean, in the beginning, you're like, oh, maybe he's not a bad guy. Like, maybe that house he lit on fire and walked out, like, maybe there's a good reason. And then at the end, you find out, like, watched his dad freeze to death, took the watch, fucked a bunch of people over, like, cheated on every girl he was ever. He just, yeah, everywhere he goes, he brings chaos.
Well, he became his dad, which he emphasizes throughout the whole movie he hates, and he killed him
Hmm.
because he became an alcoholic who was, literally homeless in that train, and he had so much money before, and he could have just like stopped in the middle of the movie where he was playing at that fancy dinner place, and he could have just kept doing that and like done a traveling show and just could have made a good amount of money the rest of his life, where he would have been very comfortable conning people in each city. But just like he said, he almost wanted to get caught. Like he just kept going. And the rich guy that he was conning, he saw him like 3 times and he was getting 10,000 each time. He should have just stopped, dude, and he took it way too far when he got his wife involved.
I don't know why. Yeah, like,
Did he really think that he wasn't going to approach his like supposed dead wife there?
are you talking about the end scene when Mar Rooney's character comes out?
Yeah, like did he really think he was just going to stop from a distance?
I know. That was the thing where I was like, this was such a stupid plan, dude. Like,
So stupid.
and also, she doesn't even Mara Rooney doesn't even wanna do it. So it's like you already have a participant who there's so much riding on this, she doesn't even wanna be involved. You don't have a real backup plan. And yeah, it'd look really weird if she just ran away, like, as he's like, "Wait, like, Clara, come to me," and he just runs.
Yeah, and he even said, "I don't wanna see her anymore," and he apologized to Bradley Cooper being like, like, "You've helped so much," but, like, he just, like, he wanted to pull over the biggest trick of his life, which was getting him to think that he could actually make his dead wife appear.
But yeah, but, like, he knows it's not real, so what the fuck is he doing? Yeah.
Dude, just to trick people.
I know. I think that's probably why this movie didn't get like a 9 out of like, 10 for IMDb. It's just because like there's not enough justification for why he does the things he does.
Dude, he just wants more power.
Yeah, I know, but like I don't know. It just doesn't feel like there's enough there. There's enough motivation because he's just a drifter. And then we find out, oh, his dad was probably abusive and a dick to him. So he got sober, killed his dad, and then, I don't know. It just there just isn't that little thing that just makes you feel like, okay, Bradley Cooper, I totally get why he's doing this. Like, so I don't know.
Well, the scar Kate Blanchett has on her chest, like
Yeah.
clearly from a knife, is it's hinted that he did that.
What do you mean?
The rich guy.
Richard Jenkins' character.
Yeah, where he says, "I've hurt women." So she knew she could convince Bradley Cooper to do that, even when she tried to stop him, like pretend stop him, like, "Oh, he's a really violent man, like you don't want to get involved, but he
Yeah.
pays so well." And Bradley was like, Yeah, I do."
I know. Well, she knew what he wanted. She's a therapist, so she was really studying everything he was saying, everything he was doing, and she also pointed out the fact that he kept saying never. So, dude, yeah, she clocked him from a mile away. She knew what she was doing.
Dude, the craziest part is that Bradley Cooper only helped Kate Blanchett. Like, dude, he potentially, if they had just actually been a partner in a group and split the money 50-50, that's $5,000. Like he was seeing him like once a week at least. That's $5,000 a week. They could have kept doing this for every one of her patients and future patients. And then he would have conned this dude who like scarred her really badly, almost killed her. And then in the end, like she didn't care about any of that and just fucked him over. And the best part of the ending, dude, is when Kate Blanchett said she's yelling at him like, "You only cared about the money. This was all about the money to you." Yet she's the one that took the money. Like,
Yeah, I need to watch it again because her motivation doesn't really make sense. So maybe there's something that I missed.
it's just like Bradley Cooper, like her motivation, even though yeah, she wanted the money, but the whole point of everything she did was to see if she could manipulate someone who thought that they couldn't, they were unstoppable into doing whatever she wanted and trusting her enough to put the money in the safe and then fucking him over. And it was basically just like a battle where they were both kind of fucking each other over and they wanted to see who could do it better.
Yeah, I mean, well, Bradley Cooper didn't even know he was getting conned. So it's like this is well, that's the thing. It's probably like in her mind, she's like, even the greatest con men can get conned because he acts like he can see it all. He knows everything. And yeah, you're right. Right in front of his eyes, he's getting horrifically conned and he doesn't even know it. And he's losing his wife, he's losing everything, and he doesn't see it's clearly because of Kate Blanchett. But
Yeah.
the one thing that was a little weird to me is when he does know what's in Kate Blanchett's purse,
Mhm.
like, too specifically.
Yeah, if they would have stopped at you had a small pistol
Yeah.
and maybe he just said something like a silver pistol because that was like common back then. But like the fact that he said like a white ivory handle, like what if it was like a like brown handle?
Yeah. He's like, "I've seen you for 30 seconds. I see that your shoulder is, like, slumming when you walk because you have a gun in that." It's like, "Come on, dude." Like, okay.
But that also plays into the fact where remember that old guy Pete in the beginning said like that's like a fail safe. Like you just say something assuming she's wealthy and lives alone and has a pistol, and he just takes everything to the next level to make it riskier. Like he could have just stopped at you have a pistol, but he
Yeah.
kept rolling the dice and said a silver pistol and with a white ivory handle. Like he just kept pushing it.
Alright, well, what do you think about, like, John Edwards and those kind of, like, people that are doing what he's doing in this movie, but now on TV? Like, what do you think about those guys?
I was thinking about that while I was watching it. Dude, and I mean, it kind of goes to show you that like with enough dedication and if you study people's like psychology, you can really get away with a lot. I mean, those that one guy, I don't know what his name is, the dude who plays the seeker dude on TV where there's people sitting around him and he's like I'm hearing John, like that
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
Like if you have a crowd of 100 people and you say a very common name like John, statistically someone is going to say like yeah.
Yeah, South Park made fun of this and they nailed it, but it's probably true. I mean, dude, when Bradley Cooper's character is like, "Alright, so, like, sometimes if you don't know an answer, you just faint." I was like, "Oh my god."
Cuz it's using so much power.
Well, yeah, it's, like, so, dramatic and, like, like, I get it, like, that actually probably would work if you're like, "Oh my god, like, he must have been so in touch with the spirit that he just fell over." Like, but, it's all a trick, you know? So, I think those people on TV are just manipulating people and taking advantage of them, and they're making a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, dude. I would like to believe that somehow someone has the ability, but realistically, like
But
if I was intelligent enough, right, and I sold out like a small theater of 50 tickets, right, and I was
yeah.
like, I can see, I know things from beyond, and if I looked at like the roster of who bought tickets, and I was like, oh, Alec bought a ticket, and I was like, I need like a and I paid somebody like a secretary or something. And I was like, I need a brief document about Alec. Like, I need to know everything, his family members, who died, what color his mom hair had, and you don't know that I know this, obviously, right? And then you're in the stage and I'm like, is someone's mother's name Dina? You'd be like, oh my God. Like,
Yeah, there's so much research that goes into that, but let me ask you this, because this says a lot about just you as a human.
oh, okay.
Do you think the Long Island medium's real?
Which one is that?
Just look her up really quick, please, 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 please.
The Long Island Medium.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
That is a show. How many years has that been on, dude? 14 seasons, Justin.
Oh my God.
14 seasons with the Long Island medium.
Teresa Caputo.
Yeah, Teresa. Dude,
Oh my
she's
God. Her hair, dude.
you have to just, like, watch an episode here. Dude, it's insane that this one like, come on. I'm looking at pictures of her now. She's like, "I can hear dead people. I can hear them. You don't believe me? All the spirits are in my hair."
Oh my God, this is it. Oh,
Uh,
it's on Hulu.
oh, yeah, so anybody can watch it. It's either between Nightmare Alley, which is also on Hulu, or Long Island Medium, you know?
One of the two. Dude, my most favorite parts of this was when the super rich dude, he went to his like building, his office building,
Mhm.
and he had to get the lie detector test, right? It was very obvious he's going to fail the lie detector test, which realistically, if the first question these people asked was like, have you talked to anyone about prior knowledge about this person? And he would have been like, oh shit.
Yeah.
It would just give it away. But it like the questions built up perfectly to the point where he was answering them and you could tell he was lying on the chart. And so he started to say things about his dead family members that were true. And it was reading that he was telling the truth on there. I mean, it was risky because they could have been like, stop talking right now and just answer the questions. But dude, what a genius move to do
Well,
that.
he used that diversion where he's like, "There's a spirit in here," and they're like, "Oh," like that whole thing. That's what they did.
Right, but it only worked because what he was saying was true.
Right, to him, it's like, yeah, dude, like, he convinced his brain that he believes the things that he's saying. Like, that's why I think he was able to pass a lie detector because he actually believes that he's
Oh,
the
yeah.
things.
Yeah, dude, that's how a lot of people I don't wanna say pass the lie detector test, but, like, they've done the lie detector test on, like, serial killers and, like, people who are insane, and they're saying things that are accurate, but we know aren't true, like, "No, I didn't kill this person," and it'll say, like, "Yeah, he's not he's telling the truth or whatever," but, like, they've literally convinced themselves that it's not they haven't done this.
Right, so, I mean, I think it doesn't measure if you're actually lying, it measures certain responses that are,
Yeah. It's like your pulse. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, because people, when they know they're lying, usually yeah, elevated heart rate, all these little things happen, but, like, if you're so confident in your
Mhm.
lie, it probably won't work, so, I don't
Yeah.
know.
I just thought that was great, dude, because it was he they kind of hinted that they were gonna, like, fuck him up if he failed.
Yeah, yeah, I know, so he had to well, that's the thing, he was always one step ahead, he always had a fail safe, he always knew, like, okay, except for that last time with Rooney and the bloody arms, but every other time, he knew
Mm,
how to get out of what he was doing. The other thing is, obviously, I know people smoke cigarettes a lot in, like, the 50s and 60s, stuff like that. I feel like Bradley Cooper smoked more than the average person in the 40s.
he was smoking a lot for sure.
Dude, every single scene, he had a cigarette, and I was just like, "Wow, like, Jesus, this is I don't know. Gee, I feel like you'd cough a lot if you smoked that ma and these are, like, unfiltered 40 cigarettes, you know?
Yeah, I mean, he was even smoking a lot in the beginning when he was, like, a carny and had no money.
Dude, he's smoking, like, in the bathtub, like, he doesn't give a fuck. He's smoking as he's eating, he's just, like, lighting up a cigarette. Dude, also, you played Red Dead Redemption 2, right? If they ever make a movie, Bradley Cooper, please play Arthur Morgan because, dude, he could pull off the bearded look. He could pull off the suave look. He had the accent. Dude, I thought the entire time I was like, Jesus, Arthur Morgan, right here, boom.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. I really liked it. And part of why I liked it is because I didn't even know anything
Hmm.
about it. And it was good, dude. Like I didn't pause it at all to be like, man, is this over almost done? Even though it was like 2.5
Yeah,
hours. Dude, just like really good cast. I loved William Dafoe in it. Not sure I would have been as good friends with someone who like kidnaps people and locks
yeah.
them in crates, but like he seemed to like Bradley Cooper. So
Yeah. I mean, seriously, it is a really great movie. It's very well shot, very well acted, well written, cool, interesting plot. Yeah, it's a great movie. I think the only thing that drags it down from being like, oh, I don't know, an Oscar nominated film, maybe it is just like the motivation of certain characters. And maybe I need to see it again to pick it up. But aside from that, like, it's a pretty fucking good movie.
yeah, I'll definitely be watching it again. Not anytime soon, just because like I wanted to like
Yeah.
settle. Probably in like a few months because it was that good, and you're definitely gonna pick up on things the second time around. I would give it, I would give it at least an
Yeah.
8.
I think that's fair. I think an eight's like perfect for this movie.
Look, dude, like Kate Blanchett was just so good in it, and the way that she was just so manipulative, like, dude, it was perfect. Like, I didn't suspect. I mean, I kind of thought that, like, maybe in the end she would like take the money out of the safe or something, but like, I did not expect her to like ruin him
Yeah.
just for the sake of seeing if she
No,
could.
you're right. Really quick here, just want to say it is nominated for Best Picture this year at the Oscars. So there's a chance this
Oh,
and Power of the Dog. We're covering a lot of these Best Picture nominees. Obviously, you liked this one
yeah.
more than that.
Yeah, dude, yeah. If you haven't listened to our Benedict Cumberbatch Power of the Dog, go check it out. But like both slowish movies, but like nothing happened in the Power of the Dog.
Oh yeah, there's a lot more happening in this movie, and also like just yeah, the cast is so good. I forgot Mary Steenburgen's in this. Steenburgen is she's
S-
remember from
Steenburgensen.
yeah, from Back to the Future 3, she played Clara. Anyways. Richard Jenkins too, I absolutely love him, dude. He's in so many amazing movies, comedies,
Oh yeah,
dramas. He's such a great actor. But dude, this movie flopped at the box office.
dude. I don't know how though. Like
I mean,
with Guillermo Del Toro and the cast, like how?
probably the length and maybe COVID, but yeah, the budget was 60 million. It made 33. Boom. Not
That's crazy,
Well,
dude.
it's nominated for an Oscar now, so I bet a lot of people are gonna go see it, and that'll hopefully boost it up a little bit. But dude, like King's Speech, that movie won Best Picture, and that movie made like $20. So
I think the whole HBO streaming thing has a lot to do with it because if I was forced to go and pay $10, how many people were like me who just sat on the couch and watched it on
yeah,
HBO?
no, me too. I mean, I saw Jackass 4 in theaters this weekend. So it was a toss up. It was, no, but it's a great movie. Definitely check it out. Also, like a period piece, really cool to see the set design, the costumes, the cars, every single human smoking cigarettes. It was a different time.
Yeah, I love movies that have like that era
Yeah.
in it. Everyone wears like fancy clothes and hats and shit.
I was thinking about it. I went to the grocery store yesterday and I just saw a girl wearing pajamas at the grocery store, and I was like, this wouldn't happen in Nightmare Alley. Like, people used to wear suits to go to the grocery store.
It's so funny, dude. Oh my
Man.
god.
All right. So, yeah, if you haven't had a chance, then this week we had our episode Shimmer, which came out, and we had the director Rob Ciano on for that one. We also had House of Wax, which came out on Monday. And then this upcoming Monday, we will have, oh boy, I just recorded it last night.
Jennifer's Body.
Jennifer's Body.
Jennifer's Body Monday. Wednesday we have a special bonus episode, and then Friday will be Antlers.
Perfect. Well, thank you everybody for listening in, and Justin, have a good day. Go watch the fucking Olympics or something.
You stay classy.
All right. Take care, everybody.